Hello, this is Angie from Adventures of Wonder Woman, and we are doing today the first Harvest Host review, but it was actually my last Harvest Host that I stopped at on this trip. So there are definitely a couple of other Harvest Hosts that I have done. And if you would like to follow my reviews, you can follow me on Facebook at Wonder Woman Adventures. And I'm going to be doing reviews on the rest of the Harvest Host, but also all the different places that we went in this adorable little 22-foot Coachmen Starflyte. Isn't she a cutie? We call her Wonder Woman. And we went 12 weeks in her this summer. So this is our last Harvest Host we went to, but it is Ertel Cellars Winery in Batesville, Indiana. And it was so beautiful. As you can see, we got there right as the sun was just in that perfect afterglow time and that golden hour. And so it just made for some really stunning photography. So I hope you like that as well. So again, this is in Batesville, Indiana, and I wouldn't say there was a lot there. The GPS got us right to the winery, which was not a problem at all. It did not take us to the vineyard because there's not an address really for the vineyard. So when you go, you want to get directions to the vineyard if you're lucky enough to get this spot. The vineyard's actually on the main road where the winery is kind of off on a smaller road, but we had a harder time finding the winery. So when we did finally get to the vineyard, you'll see there's just the main road down there. And this is the best example at the bottom of the picture. You just drive up the road in between the two vineyards, and then you're going to pull up to this pad, and that's it. That's where you get to stay for the night. It's absolutely beautiful location. So one thing that threw us off was this Walnut Creek Vineyard sign. I wanted to point that out. And of course, I'm not sure why that says that, but it's there. And this is also the best picture I have of the hookups. Right there is I believe it's a 20 amp, and the water is all the way to the right of the picture, and there is no septic. So you have electricity and you have water. Also, I think that the requirements are under 30 feet for this particular spot. So if you're lucky enough to be under 30 feet and you only need 20 amps, then this might be the spot for you because it's beautiful. I don't think you can go wrong. So again, here's our little Wonder Woman. She's 22 feet, went in there perfectly. As you can see, we didn't even level. So that's how great that was. So here is some beautiful shots of the vineyard. So this vineyard has produced grapes for other wines since 1999. That may be why there's a different name on that sign. But then they decided to try their own hand at wines, which I think is a great thing they did, because they have 7 varieties of grapes and several different types of wine that you are going to want to check out at the winery. So let's move over to these walnut trees. Were just so beautiful all the way around. There wasn't a bad spot there. So these are pictures from the website of the winery, and at the top and the bottom is the actual winery. It has lovely views. It also has an outdoor porch seating, which had like a brick with the arches. Then there was another outside seating that kind of looked over some more vineyards. And then you had the interior, which was very chateau-like. And it's all the way around done wonderful. I wanted to point your attention to that bottom picture of the facility and the casks and the equipment, because in this picture, isn't this just the best? Like when I walked in, I was like, oh, this is so pretty. So we got this great seat right up against those windows. And if you're over at that bank of 4 windows, when you look down, you will look right down into this equipment picture that's right here on the bottom. So you get to look down into their facility. And I thought that was just a really neat way to do that, and kind of gave you a peek into the operating system. So I looked at the menu and we decided to try this wonderful dish. Boom, how pretty is that? This is macadamia encrusted sea bass with goat cheese crumbles and creamed spinach, and it was every bit as good as it sounds. And then we also got the Wagyu steak and the bay scallops, and also again, yum, yum, all of it was yum. Now, I didn't get to take pictures of the wines themselves. I forgot to do that, but here is a couple of pictures of their bottles up at the top. You can check out the menu of the wines online, and their address is Ertel Cellars Winery.com. And so you can look at their wines there. I had a blackberry lemonade slush wine when we got there, and it was just very refreshing because of course it was hot and it's summer, and you get that slushy wine and it's so crisp, and so that was yummy. And then I bought the pink catawba, and they opened it there, and I had a glass of that. I tried the Steuben. I didn't like it as much as I did the other two that I purchased. And I also bought the Marichal Foch. And I haven't opened it yet either. It says rose petals, cherries, citrus, and grapefruit. The Steuben was red wine with watermelon and cherry, and the pink catawba was fruity blush wine. So I got all of those, and they were so good. So anyway, again, if you go to the winery, there are harvest host spots there too. Those are for the bigger ones. I'm pretty sure there are no hookups there. So, check that out. But if there's at least 2 more spots at the winery in their parking lot for the bigger, class A's. But if you're small enough and you don't need a whole lot, then they will let you stay at this one spot at the Vineyard. And you can see, you just pull up, there's nothing else around. And I had traveled the whole time looking for dark skies, and I couldn't find any dark skies. It was either the clouds weren't right, or one thing or the other, or too much light pollution. So finally in the Vineyard in Indiana, I finally got some dark skies. And I just wanted to show you these 2 photos. This is a shot I took of the Big Dipper, and the one on the right is Venus. And I've been playing with the exposure, slow exposure, long exposure, and the night setting on my S21 Ultra that I bought just for this cross-country trip. And I think that turned out pretty awesome when you consider that is a camera phone. So, and then another thing that was awesome was the fact that we just got to finally see stars. It was so peaceful, so quiet, so everything. The food was wonderful. The area was wonderful. The skies, just, if you can do it, do it. If you're in the area, if you're not in the area, go around and hit Batesville, Indiana, because the winery and the parking spot and the Vineyard is something that you'll probably be very happy about. So again, if you'd like to hear some more reviews of Harvest Host and other places we've stayed, things we've done, follow me at Wonder Woman Adventures. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy camping, happy travels, and love it all.